screwing everybody up a little bit. Steve going 5 minutes early. What are people they're going to be tuning in, Steve, to talk about? Obviously, Milan Frosinone. We're going to talk about obviously the other Serie A games, le polemiche, and the other Serie A games. We're going to be talking about
VAR.
Il VAR. What did Pioli do a good job on this game against Frosinone? What's upcoming for our beloved Milan? A Maldini article, shall we say? But we're going to talk about this kind of stuff. But Stevie P, welcome back. But Steve, as we like to say in Presidente, make sure that I say it all the time. What do people need to do?
They need to subscribe, guys. It's very important. Hit that subscribe button. We need all the subscriptions we can get. Put in that thumbs up and hit that bell so that you know when Milan Weekly Podcast, Coast to Coast, and the local soccer show comes to you.
And we'll definitely find out why you decided to go with San Michele on this one. So hold on to your hats. Let's go.
Let's go!
Welcome to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Milan fans all over the world, with your hosts, VInny T and Stevie P.
Benvenuti nella casa Giroud in area, si gira, sinistro, rete, gol capolavoro di Olivier Giroud.
Mignon with another magical save.
Coast to coast del numero 19.
Leao carica il boccino. Eccolo qua, Rafa Leao.
Cari amici sportivi, welcome you to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast, where we talk everything Milan e San Michele Milan, and finalmente 3 punti meritate Milan. Stevie P, VInny T, faithfully here every single week. And before we begin, we got a couple of housekeeping stuff. Steve, let me be the first to congratulate you publicly in front of the camera. Steve, how many babies did you kiss? How many hands did you shake? And what is your, you got voted in. What is your, can we call you president? No, we can't call you president.
No. So strong.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a long year. It's going to be a long year. Congratulations to myself and all the other administrators who got in. Marco La Molinara, Nicholas Bagnoli, Steve Garciopolo, and Presidente, fellow Milanista Sergio Ciravella. We're all part of the CSRP board right now, and we want to make good strides in local soccer, good changes. Guys, it was a long year. I have to be honest with you. It was something that, like I said, I wanted to wait for tonight to have this little video, clip it so that the Presidente can prepare it for me and we can shoot it out. You'll see it live if you're here, and if you're not, you'll have it in a device near you tomorrow. But I want to say thank you to everybody, all the members that came out for CSRP. It's amazing to see when the community comes together and the community wants and embraces some new ideas, young blood, some change. We put in the hard work, right, Vinny? So myself, Presidente, and everybody who actually put in their candidature, guys. These guys do incredible things. I would need a complete show just to explain to you what these guys and girls do for a local soccer club, because it's not what you think it is. It runs like a business. Importantly, it's not a family-run business. It has to run like a business, though, nonetheless. And it is a non-for-profit, so we are doing it for the kids. A lot of volunteers, a lot of people putting in tremendous amount of hours, and I hope they continue. And I just have to say this, right? We're a new board. We're new ideas. We're strong characters. Are we going to argue? Absolutely. Isn't that what a board is for? If we would all agree, there would be no need to have a board, right? So we'll have the different ideas. We'll have the discussions. we want to be transparent. We want to push unity, community. And guys, the major thing, this is about the kids. Development and change was all I wanted to talk about, because that's all I care about right now. Development and change. And so do the board members. We're aligned on that level. So let's, put aside all the telenovelas. Let's get ready to work, because there is work to do. And let's make CSRDP something to talk about. Yeah, something to talk about. Yeah,
at least I can say, from all the years of the complaining I've heard, you're doing something about it, right? Baby steps, one step at a time. And again, congratulations, because new blood is needed. I'm sure not just at CSRDP, at other different federations, especially across Canada and North America. So again,
let's go.
Félicitations. Speaking of community, guys, it's been, for me, 15 years. Steve has joined on. I think it's been now 5 years, Steve, that you've been helping out, and we're calling this one the curtain call. For all you wrestling fans out there, you're gonna get it. This is our 15th and last annual toy and food drive. We're gonna be doing it this September 17th from 11 to 4. I will be in the trucks like I always do. I know there's a couple of videos from the past years. Donations, we're going to be doing the same thing we did in the last years, guys. Donations through GoFundMe, which is in the comments. Milan Weekly Podcast and Milan Club Montreal will take care of those GoFundMe fees. So every single dollar is matched, and that money will go towards, we always go that crazy Walmart run just before the actual event. This year we're picturing maybe buying directly from the distributor some pallets, some skids of canned goods. And I think last year we had spent over $12,000 the day before, and it was a great event. And Steve, it's just something we like to do. It's like, I remember it was days minus 30. We're there, families and kids, and bringing their toys, and it's something good for the community. I know everybody does their own thing here in Montreal, and it's not about competition. I just love seeing everybody, communities getting together, especially this time of, this year. Times are hard, money, with the economy the way it is. And it's just, but in the end, everybody pulls through. We did it through COVID. So hopefully you'll be there in the trucks with me this year, a bit of elbow grease and packing up those trucks. So again, to anybody that can help us out in the comments for the GoFundMe.
Let's go, toy and food drive. Let's go.
Steve, Sonny couldn't do a thumbnail, but Sonny, I'm going to take the time. Thank you so very much for all the work that you do, man. It's sometimes it's hard, you being away, but he's sick right now. Get well soon, Sonny.
Sonny.
So Presidente told him to get himself some grappa. He's going to feel better after that. Steve, when the game first started, this was supposed to be the...
What is this graphic?
This is a graphic that I just cut and paste from the internet. Thank you. Thank you very well.
Thank God we have Sonny.
Yes, thank you, Sonny. Steve, the big controversy at the beginning of the game was Theo as a center back. But then we had, don't give me no Krunic as center back. So people didn't seem to be happy with whatever we do. But were you surprised by this? Were you like, okay, this is the way we're going to go? And supposedly Pioli said this was his choice.
Well, good on him, because I wasn't expecting that. Watching the game, you saw that Theo was lined up as a center back, but really didn't play as a center back. So it was almost like the disguised three-man back line. So I didn't mind it against Frosinone. I think what frustrates me a bit about this is that there's young guys who they could deserve a chance, and they can get into the pit, get on the pitch in these types of games and try to solidify some minutes. The Simic and other defensive guys from the Primavera who we don't shy away from starting the 15-year-old or starting Tarore. That's the only thing that frustrates me, is that we're gambling with our starting left back, and we don't have another left back that's as good as him if something were to happen, especially playing center back, sometimes getting caught and taking a stupid red card. You are gambling there, but the gamble paid off, and I guess that's why he's the manager, and that's why he makes those decisions. I didn't think he was bad. I will go to my indigestion of the week now that we're talking about center backs. I think even though he scored a goal, Tomori's game is on the downward spiral. It's worrisome.
Do you think it's too much? You wanted to call this show San Michele because he did save his ass a few times. A great assist too on the Pulisic goal. But Tomori, do you think, Steve, it's just too many minutes? Do you think too much pressure? Him being him with Chow. I always liked it when he was with Kajar. I don't know. What do you? Sometimes he comes up solid, but yeah, this game he was not up to his.
He was not up to it, and I remember one incident vividly because the mistake he made. My 10-year-olds make those same mistakes, and I'm on them when they make those mistakes because it's just simple. Get the ball away from your feet into a position where you can play a ball. I think Tomori is the type of player that he doesn't want to be that person who plays that ball out from the back. So he's comfortable with someone who is comfortable making that first pass, right? So Kajar, for all the negativity of his age and stuff like that, you see the range of his ball passing, and I think that Tomori doesn't want to be that player. He's athletic. He's able to recoup when he does make a mistake. But when it's mistakes, when it comes in terms of playing the ball out from the back, in a league like Serie A, even against Frosinone, you're not going to get away with that, which he did get away with it because that's why we got San Michele. Because San Michele makes a stop off that error from Tomori, that if he doesn't make that stop, I guarantee we're having a different conversation today.
Fell asleep on that one. I don't know, Steve. That one goal at the end that really pissed me off because it just seemed that we were going, yes, this is the result we should be getting against. Even though Frosinone has been playing very, very well, but just fell asleep, and it was Tomori that fell asleep. I don't think I should give a lot of blame there on Mike. I know Mike has a bit of a part, but. It really did it piss you off? Because it fucking pissed me off.
It did piss me off. It left a sour taste in my mouth just because I think we should have kept a clean sheet. Besides that save from Mike, there wasn't too much more from Frosinone, and I think goals like that will make you lose points as the season goes on. Uncharacteristically of Mike, usually he's out to come and get that ball. He's a very aggressive keeper, is off his line very fast, usually anticipates that. It was a strange free kick that found its way in the net. I think maybe we're being a little too harsh on that goal. I think it's just the ball had eyes, right? It was going to find its way in the back of the net. If it has to be everybody needs to be active in the box. No one can be ball watching, and if you're ball watching, you're going to watch that ball go in the back of the net. So, Mike, for me, is not my Brioshki.
Okay.
We're gonna switch it up.
I was gonna ask you, maybe I'm on the right path here. How did you feel about Jovic in this game?
No.
So he's definitely not your Brioshki.
No. Pulisic was fantastic in this game.
Captain America.
Yeah, he looked like he had energy to play 2 games in a row. I loved it. It was fantastic. He
made it look easy as goal.
Yeah, and in like the first touch on Mike's one-way pass, just him on the wings, filtering into the middle. He was able to make playing in a very tight space look very, very easy. And sometimes I was like, oh, God, we're gonna lose the ball again, and he's out of it, right? And it was refreshing to watch. It's hard to keep that up. Let's be frank, and I don't expect that week in and week out. But man, I think, speaking and looking into some of the chats that I was in and speaking with friends, he is Milan signing of the year. There's no one else that's good that's gonna come close, especially this year. We need a little bit more from Chucky. He did, he did look. You have some flashes of where he looks like he seems to be
settling in.
But then
games, Steve,
then again we had the Castiglionitis, where you would just lose the ball out of nowhere. Like,
what was that condition, Steve?
Castiglionitis.
Oh, okay.
It's the condition of losing the ball when no one is actually around you. That's Castiglionitis. So.
Thank you for Dr. Steve for explaining that. But Jovic too, I think to me it's like not a too little too late, but this is what we bought you for, to come out. I find he played pretty good. Nice shot on goal, his goal assist for Tomori. I wanted to ask you, how good did it feel to see? Well, Benacer, but you have excuse me, Adli for Chucky. Then he came out with Traore for Pulisic, Pobega for Loftus-Cheeks, Benacer and Camarda there at the end. Do you think he managed these changes well?
Yeah, I think it was okay. I just didn't like the Adli change. I just think he didn't really give much in a game where we needed to keep the pedal on the keep the pedal down, keep that pedal to the metal. Adli just is just I'm not jiving it. I see that there is some visions. There is some. Is he overdoing it? Is he overthinking it? I don't know. But he had Castiglionitis as well, losing balls when there was pretty much no one around them, or making things much more complicated than they were supposed to be. It was fantastic to see Benacer. Really, really miss that guy, and I hope he gets game fit, because we can surely slot him in for the rest of the season, or until he leaves to the African Nations Cup, and take advantage of whatever time he has left here in this season for us to make a push, because I think the push is still on. We went through a dark spell.
The Scudetto race is over, Steve. You don't know?
Stop it.
But I wanted to ask your thoughts on this. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating. Loftus-Cheeks, to me, was the signing of the season before he got hurt. Since he came back, is it because you're playing him a bit more? I don't know. I don't find he has that impact, that he looks like a train. That game that he came. I don't know. I feel like he's not himself. Am I over analyzing this? What do you feel about Loftus-Cheeks?
Look, he's the type of player that's not going to razzle dazzle every game. I'm happy when I don't hear his name, because that means he's marking someone off the pitch. But yeah, I see the little bit of dip in form. But let's give him some chance to get some game legs in and see where you can take it as well. We need to start staying healthy. Too many injuries, too many injuries. We need Leao back, and I want to make this final push towards Christmas. Then we do a little panettone eating, and then we watch Inter crumble in January, February, because that's what they do.
Atalanta on Saturday noon game. We'll be there I will be there at Chacharo's, and we will go through the scores. Atalanta not doing very, very well. You know what happens when these teams don't do very, very well? They always come up as the Real Madrid and the Galactico series against Milan, but we shall see. So you're Brioshki, you're saying Captain America, and who's your indigestion, Steve?
Tomori,
yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna go with the
top and flop, Brioshki indigestion, all the same thing.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Stevie P, do you want to talk about Maldini now? Because we don't have any Patreon questions. They were very lazy this week. Want to talk about Maldini? You want to do Serie A? I'm giving you the choice. You want to go Serie A?
Shoot Maldini. We'll stick on Milan, and then we'll throw in some Serie A in the end.
Okay, so Presidente shared with us the copy, and I was reading, and his comments from Presidente, like, don't read just the headlines. It's a lot of clickbait. I just felt, Steve, reading it, look, it's Maldini. He could do whatever the fuck he wants, right? I just don't get the timing of it. I really don't get the timing. I felt through his words that, when he was saying it's just like, I, I feel like, dude, I love him. He's always gonna be Milan legend to me. But when he was talking about, oh, we got fired because of, we weren't getting along with Forlani, then he gave me a battuta on the Inter thing. And I remember these words from you, Steve, because it happened after the Scudetto, and your words exactly were, you know what happened? You told everybody it was a whose dick is bigger kind of conversation between both of them. I'm not gonna shit talk him. I just don't understand the timing of this. Saying 6 months later, you get to think about what you're saying. But if you are, he proclaimed his love for Milan, right? But if you're proclaiming your love for Milan, do you need to put it at this time when we're at our most fragile right now in the season? You're not, you're just bringing bad exposure. But I don't have a problem with him speaking his mind. I just felt the timing of it.
Look, he's bitter. This
Yeah.
is his Milan, and he got pushed out of his Milan, according to his words, for not the right reasons.
Saying that he came up with a plan that they wanted a Champions League. They come out a 35-page plan that they never asked about it. And
you know what?
only,
That's unfortunately we've talked about it, and this is proven. And now you can spread it out across internet land. This is the North American philosophy. They want to win now. It doesn't work in Europe. It doesn't. So I agree with him, and I believe everything that he says.
Yeah. I
believe that Cardinale was okay. You got me a Scudetto. That's my domestic championship. Yay. Okay, great. But now I want to win the Champions League. It just doesn't work like that. Especially if you can't spend. And now everybody's going to say, oh, but Inter made it to the Champions League last year because stars aligned and, they play as a team. It's a different system, but no one's going to remember in 15, 20 years that they lost 1-0 to Manchester City. They're going to just remember that Manchester City won that Champions League. And I get it, right? And Maldini had to tell him that, look, you're not going to get it next year. You're not going to get it maybe the year after that. This is a 3 to 5 year plan, and I believe that.
Yeah,
if it would stay the course and all the stars have to align, because you cannot spend to the money of the English Premier League. You can't spend to the money of the Real Madrid and PSG. So you have to look. You have to look, and they took a chance on CDK. It didn't work, and I agree with him what he said about that. He was also a 21-year-old. So
they spoke about the Catalare and but then I think he rebutted with but the two Hernandezes and the Magnas and yes, I get that, but I think I'm with you that I believe every word he says. It just seems bitter with reason. Dominic saying maybe he's clearing the air to pursue other employment. Hey man, wherever you can go, Maldini. But this whole thing that maybe he didn't get along with Forlani, or maybe, I don't know, maybe Uncle Jerry had his plan in his head from when he bought, and he wants to bring in his own system, and I don't know. It is what it is, but I enjoyed the reading, and I didn't want to read people complaining about Maldini or praising him. Just read the article, guys. Just don't go by.
Read the article, not the clickbait. And again, I think Timmy says it well over here. He took a job. He took a position where, unfortunately, you may get fired. So, and yes, and everybody gets fired, right? So they were not happy. They've put in money.
Yeah, he threw Scaroni under the bus. When we're losing, he's out there 10 minutes to beat traffic, but he wasn't the first one in line when won the Scudetto. And if it was any other sporting director, no one would care. Tim. He's right there, because if it was a no-name person, nobody would care. But a very good conversation. I'm sure you could find it online. I think if you even click on they give you a free article per day there. But Presidente got is the real deal. Stevie P, good old Presidente. Did you have any else to add to this Maldini article?
It's another article we read, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go away from depending on the results. If the results go good, it goes away. If the results are negative, you bet you a lot of people are going to go find it and replay it over and over and over again. It's just along with that was the timing of Cardinale sniffing around, and apparently the PIF is sniffing around again. So the Saudi hedge fund is coming back.
They've made the brand exciting and very attractive, Steve. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so,
Well, Maldini too has a lot to do with that. You can't take that away from take that away from him.
I bet you this.
Okay.
I bet you, and I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm saying if it does happen, that he sells to the PIF. First one back in the door is Maldini.
Let's bet a coffee on that one.
I'm there.
All right, I like it. Steve, make sure that your soundboard is ready, because Liban Youssef likes his sound bites, and I'm sure you're gonna have different sound bites for our. Yes, excuse me. Before I get into it. This Serie A recap is brought to you by Football TV, your home for all things Serie A here in Canada. And as I like to mention every week, and anche in Italiano for all you people, your parents, your fathers, your grandfathers, se lo vogliono guardare in Italiano. Steve, an exciting week of Serie A, week 14. Monza Juventus, la prima partita del campionato. You thought that they were going to do that. Last second, Juve pulling it off 2-1 against Monza. Monza did not look very good in this one, neither did Juve, but Steve, scraping by. Right?
So frustrating to watch. It's such terrible soccer, and again, like us, everything is going their way. Our Scudetto year, everything is going their way. I will really throw up if they manage to win this one, because their team is nowhere near the caliber to be winning a Scudetto. Gagliardini, I don't know, shut up. Like, don't celebrate in people's faces, because then then Rabiot destroys him on social media, and then he says, what happens on the pitch has to stay on the pitch. No, because it didn't happen on the pitch, Gagliardini. There's cameras everywhere. You embarrassed him in front of everybody. So stop crying like a baby, take it like a man, and you lost.
And you gave 3 punti to Juve, another Serie A Scudetto contender. Genoa Empoli 1-1. Steve, Strasbourg Steve is happy, right? He's got Lazio con grande vittoria della Lazio, 1-0, even coming back from a Champions League win. You know what? When a team is down the shits, you need these kind of 3 points.
Steve, no one cares about Lazio.
This Serie A recap is brought to you by Fumo TV. So you got the crickets in there, Steve. Not impressed with this Lazio win.
Come on, guys. I'm losing player. I have Luis Alberto in my Fanta Calcio. I lose him. I lose the other Wi-Fi password from Atalanta today. My board is filled with injuries. I don't even know. And I won this week. I won against the Romanista this week.
All right. So Lazio still needing those 3 points. Very, very, very importantly, 3 points, because as we'll see in the tables after, they need to climb back up if they want a chance at European football next year. Lecce Bologna, Steve, 1-1. Bologna, nobody talks about them, but Thiago Motta seems
Bologna,
now.
I saw today on Instagram, Mauro Biello's son is training at Bologna.
Oh, that's very nice.
Cool.
And I think Thiago Motta is supposedly spoke bad to a referee. They're gonna open l'inchiesta.
Here we go. There we go.
But Bologna getting that much needed point. Excuse me, against home team of Lecce. Fiorentina, they needed this, Steve, and Fiorentina keeps on putting these points, and Salernitana just they like to beat the teams like Lazio, Steve, Salernitana, but Fiorentina with a big 3 points and three goals.
Jack Bonaventura is on the mark again. He's making a push for Euro 2024, ladies and gentlemen.
Good for him. And Steve,
The goal
Udinese.
fest. The goal fest.
Udinese all of a sudden scores 0 goals in the first 10 games of the season, wins their first game against us, obviously. This was, if we were watching back in the day, La Giostra del Gol, we would have been hearing that trumpet many times. It was an entertaining game, 3-3, Verona Udinese. Did you catch a bit of these highlights?
Yes, I have some players in Udine, and they're scoring goals finally. And Tovan is my striker for Udine. He's getting some assists. That was very nice. We had a little bicicletta from the Verona player in that game as well. Very nice. Very nice.
So, and a good entertaining game because, guys, remember, Serie A is very boring. It's all about tactics. The EPL is a lot better. Sassuolo, Steve. Ça va pas. In French, is like, it's just, you go up 1-0, and I don't recognize the Sassuolo. And Roma, pulling it off, Steve. Pulling it off at the red card. What is that? What time, I think, in the game, if I remember correctly. But 2-1, and Roma definitely needing these 3 points. But what do you feel about Sassuolo?
They're just going to struggle near the bottom of the table. And, Roma irk out ugly win after ugly win as well. They need that penalty. That penalty just gets them in the game. So the PK, it's already like 0.50 when the game starts. Because Roma's getting a PK and Dybala is going to score it, right? So, besides that,
healthy, do you think Roma, Lukaku?
Well, look, now they're in top 4, right? So they're in that top 4 conversation. That's where Strasbourg Steve is a bit pissed off. I almost called him Salisbury Steve, the Salisbury Steak Steve. So sorry about that, but he's pissed off because that's his city rival. And Roma is at Christmas. If they're still at 4th place, you're gonna have to start watching them.
And they were 2-3 points after 4 or 5 games. So, and now Steve, the 8 goals that called us before, il derby delle excuse, like the both
Ciao
coaches.
ragazzi, ciao Ale, come stai?
Ciao Presidente, il vero Presidente, come stai te? Tutto bene?
Tutto bene, grazie.
Tutto bene, Inzaghi's happy now, Vinny? Inzaghi's smiling.
You know what? But see what he said.
He's not doing his gesture.
They want to tell us that we have no adversaries, but that game in Porto that we were down 3-0. What does that have to say with anything? And yesterday I was watching on sports media, said Zazzaroni, and then they were getting into it. Ma quelle fallo tutte le giorni and this. And their discussion was, Steve, that foul could have dictated the game. Now, at the bar this morning, they were saying, look, to me, Napoli, Graziani is like, but sometimes you need a bit of lady luck. He goes, like you guys when you won the Scudetto, you need a bit of lady luck. He goes, Napoli at the first half, l'hanno giocato the first half. I go, but l'hanno giocato means nothing. No. What did you feel? Like, it just felt Napoli, not the depth to go 90 minutes. It just felt that tiredness. And look at Inter, guys.
Second best team on the pitch, and Inter comes out with the 3-0 win. As much as I'm not an Inzaghi fan, he has them playing. Every move he makes, creates goals or changes the game. The Benfica game made some changes and was able to pull out a draw. At this point, there's not much you can criticize them. They're firing on all cylinders, right? They're not conceding goals. Sommer has 9 clean sheets already. Onana has 9 consecutive games with 2 goals or more, and they sold him for $60-something million, if not more. So they're doing good business on the Mercato. Yes, I saw in the chat they're still at a loss, and they still have to figure out Oak Tree and how much money that they have to pay back by March, or else they have their own problems. But again, the fans don't care. The fans see them top of the table, points above Juve, points above Inter. They're happy. There's not much more. Again, for Napoli, where does your project speak when you're looking to Walter Mazzarri as the solution?
He didn't say anything, Steve. Mazzarri. I'm surprised.
Well, he didn't
He
say
looks
anything
stre-
because
he-
they made fun of him about his watch. They're all gonna make fun of him about his watch.
He looks stressed. He looks stressed.
Well, yeah, this is not gonna last very long. I just think that Garcia was already a bad hire. We said it at the beginning of the season. We repeated that this patch job of Mazzarri was going to be another bad hire. There's not much going well at Naples. Let me tell you that much.
Yeah, but again, let's just talk about Milan, the worst Scudetto defense, and never talk about Napoli. But I'll keep on repeating that every fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Today was surprising. He couldn't update it for us, but Torino beating Atalanta 3-0, Steve.
Yeah.
This to me was a surprising, I know, a very surprising result. I know CDK started because who's hurt there? What's his name? Scamacca's hurt, but Steve, Atalanta, is Gasperini, is he going to do Panettone? Because I think there's been a lot more bad results, and obviously not good for us. Oh, by the way, he's in the busted tweets. Don't you worry about it, Liban Youssef. And Steve hasn't seen these. But Torino beating Atalanta 3-0, Steve. Wow.
Yeah, Duvan Zapata getting two brace on his old teammates playing for Torino. I think Atalanta's just struggling. A lot of injuries. I don't know if Gasperini's lost the team. You never know which Atalanta's going to show up.
Yeah. A lot of, but even them, Steve, looking at right now at 20 points, Atalanta was always fighting for those, fifth spot.
In theory, they're still fighting. They're they're 4 points behind.
Torino just went up to 19, right? But a nice little battle there. Looking at Sassuolo at 15, going all the way to Atalanta at 20. Inter, Juventus, 35.
There's a lot of football to be played, guys. A lot of football to be played.
But I thought La Corsa Scudetto è finita, Steve. I have to go according to these. I know these clickbaits. I just enjoy this so much. I know we haven't asked you. I had asked Jan last week. I want to ask you again. Maybe it's about a month. I haven't asked you right now. La sorpresa per te and the disappointment per te. That you wouldn't expect this after 14 weeks.
After 14 weeks, I don't think I would have seen Lazio down in 9th place. And to be honest with you, my surprise, again, negatively, is seeing Napoli in 5th.
How about us? Bologna, 22 points.
Positive, yes, is Bologna at 7th place. 2 points behind Roma.
I can't believe Roma's at 24 points if we have to look at week 3, week 4, but should be, as you said, there's a lot of football to be played, another 24 weeks. And speaking of, 24 weeks, the Fanta Calcio, but before we head into that, this segment has been brought to you by Fubo TV, your home for all things Serie A here in Canada. Peter's still in first there. Ciao Presidente. He likes to call himself that. He's a big fan.
Running away with it.
He's running away with it. Oh no, but got 18 points behind Chicken Carm. We got look at this, going from 10th, from 9th to there's a tie, Steve, 10-42. So you have a what is this? 97 points difference between first and 11th. How's your Fanta Calcio doing, Steve?
It looks like it's a win this week, so I'm happy.
You're happy. On that note, before we get into busted tweets, Steve, this Saturday, Atalanta, do you, if Leao, that supposedly, might be able to, do you risk? You said today, le premie non voglio riscare, there was the big event, Steve, the Oscars of Serie A.
Yeah.
Would you? I wouldn't. Against
I'm not risking him. If he's not well, we're not risking him. No.
I like it. So maybe going with the same formation, but Giroud's back, right? So
Giroud is back.
Would you start Giroud or back to Jovic?
Absolutely. No, Giroud.
All right, and to everybody in Montreal, next Saturday at noon, we will be there. Milan Club Montreal. And Steve, he's found us some gems, our friend Jan here on Busted Calcio X. Are you ready for slide number 1?
We're ready.
At Nerazzurri, only one club in Italy didn't lose this week in Champions League. Does he not watch Lazio, Steve?
Yeah, I don't know, but they don't care. They just-
Oh, okay. So them, this is the Inter. This is the Inter world. And this is what, fortnight? Is this like a fortnight kind of thing? What the fuck?
I have no idea what that is. That's not Fortnite. They
48
look like
likes.
them.
48 likes. That the only team that did not lose.
Yeah.
And the celebrating that did not.
48 other people, or just liked it so that they can go back to it and make fun of it.
At the Nerazzurri, yeah, check your scores, dude. At the Steve. Congratulations, Inter on the Scudetto. Fully deserved. 3.9. And this guy's like a friend. I think he writes for Sempre Milan, or if guys correct me if I'm wrong. But why? Why do we have to read this at this point?
There's so much soccer to be played. So much stuff could happen. I don't understand why why do we watch sports then? Why don't we just simulate the whole season? This is a computer world, right, Vinny?
Yeah.
We can't be patient and we can't live through the highs and lows of our beloved sports team. So when things go bad, or we don't, they don't lose against Naples, who was the second best team on that pitch, no one could beat them, and they're going to just ride on to the sunset. If it would be that easy, why do we play 38 match days? Let's put the game in EAFC 2024, and let's let them computerize themselves so that they can pick a Scudetto champion.
I still feel that dip is coming, and people are debating this at the bar. I'm like, look, the only team I didn't see take a dip in Serie A in a long time was Napoli. Maybe as a Scudetto winner those years, Juve won, but everybody else took a dip, and they were 18 points ahead by January. Then you could have said Lo Scudetto è già vinto, but this one, I don't know if he's trolling, and it's still a little busted.
Maybe trolled, yeah, maybe trolled.
Stevie P, our friend.
Here we go. He's back out of the woodwork, this guy.
Azzurri fan Phil says, Milan had their same squad and the manager they thought was a wizard because he pulled off a Scudetto. We had the same squad. Spalletti left and we had a poor replacement, and we'll still be closer in the end. 616 views. So he's saying that no matter what, we had the same squad and a manager that we thought was a wizard because he pulled off a Scudetto, but in the end, they're going to be closer than us in the end to the Scudetto. Good old Azzurri fan Phil.
Good, and his calculations, he probably never passed math because right now he's not close at all and got his ass whipped by Inter, which, again, has happened to many of us, Milan included.
Yeah.
It's just, again, guys like this, I question if they watch soccer, to be honest. I question if they actually even watch it, and a lot of people have said he's a nice guy, he's good. But when you write things like this, it's two things. One, you're trolling, which I couldn't really care less what you write and what you don't write. But, because of the segment, I'm going to analyze what you wrote and I'm going to say you're a clown.
How are we the same squad? I think we had
We're not the same squad, number one. Our manager, no one ever really said he was a wizard. We said it was a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Milanisti were on the same page where it was a miracle because we played with one less man all season, and again, maybe not the highest of level of competition, and again, no one said that Napoli was not the best team last year.
We always said it was the best team.
Yeah, when you let go, and I mean, he's probably talking to the X-verse. But again, where is your project going when you let go of Spalletti, or Spalletti decides to move on to the national team, or maybe felt like he could not repeat, so he might as well go. And then, thinking that Garcia is the answer and saying that, you'll be closer. You've taken steps back with that, because not only did you hire Garcia, you then followed that up by patching it with Walter Mazzarri, who's famously known for his watch and a water bottle. Right?
And do you think he was going to pay Conte? You think those rumors are true? De Laurentiis was going to pay Conte?
No way. No way.
I'm trying to debate this with people. I'm like, you guys are telling me De Laurentiis was going to pitch out 10 to 12 million to pay Conte? No, I seriously doubt it. But Zuri fan Phil, I think that's he's
winner, chicken dinner. Hey, you want something?
Winner, chicken dinner. Thank you, Zuri fan Phil, and keep sending them to Jan. You guys on even the Patreon chat, you could tag him directly there. But he was definitely entertaining last week. He held no punches back as Jan likes to do. Steve, again, Toin Food Drive for us on the 17th of December. The link is in the comments. We're going to be posting over social media. Did you have any closing words, any inspirational words for our beloved Milan and going in Saturday at Atalanta at Bergamo? It's not going to be an easy one.
Two things. Not going to be an easy game, and I think we need to come out of there with 3 points. No room to make mistakes. I think we need to be clinical. We need to be sharp at the back. If we're sharp at the back, I think goals will come. And we'll get the 3 points. I think we'll get the 3 points. Like you said, Atalanta's a bit in a negative spell. And again, Liban was reading my mind. We need to talk a little bit about the Euro 2024 draw.
So we have. I like it, Steve.
I have no problem with that. A lot of people are freaking out. I don't.
You know what I'm afraid of, Steve? You know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid that we're gonna overperform once again. And we're going to forget about the problems that are in our national
team. Guaranteed. They're already setting themselves up for that. They want Italy to fail. Italy plays better when they're doubted. Oh yeah, everybody's doubting you. We can guarantee that. You could record Stevie P. You could send it over to them, and make sure that they know that we know and everybody knows that we're doubting you. Because I don't think that many people think that they're going to be able to get out of the group. I would not be shocked if they did or they didn't, to be honest with you, because they have not looked great in qualifying. It's our fault that we ended up in pot 4. And now you have to live with this type of group, right? It's not going to be easy. We never match up against Spain. You don't know Croatia with Modric. It seems like once he puts on that jersey, he reincarnates himself into the 1998 Modric. And then Albania always plays us tough. And last but not least, who's left?
That's it. Group of 4. Steve.
Oh, group of 4. That's it. There's not much more. Okay.
No, I just I don't want us to go crashing out. Don't get me wrong, but it just seems that every time there seems to be a change coming at the national team, something happens to make us forget. Would it be Antonio Conte pulling the wool over our eyes with that team in the Euros that went all the way to the semifinals, winning the Euros, the last ones, and then not being able to qualify for World Cup? Guys, that says a lot. And I just, you said, Steve, the Champions League, if people want to win now, it was a 3 to 5 year plan. Getting back to the top of the world might be a 5 to 10 year plan, So just the way you're trying to make changes in your local federation, let's just hope that they can come out of this with their heads up high and still, okay, this is what we need to work on.
Oh, they're not making changes. I can tell you that. The FIGC thinks that everything is good again.
Everything is
good. They made a tournament. Everything is good again. And we'll see in the World Cup 2026 what they decide to do. But it's at a development level for Italy as well. Unfortunately, they're not. They can't find space in these top teams. And that's why they're not generating the talent that we need, right? So
I think so, which is funny. And I think like the best third are they doing this kind of group?
I don't know how they. It's
like when Italy made it in 19 and USA.
I loved the Euros when it was 16 teams. That was a tournament. Bang! Every group was a group of death, and every game was a punch in the face.
Like it. On that note, Steve, anything else? We have some snow to go take out, 25, 30 centimeters.
That's for sure. Guys, don't forget to check out Gio and Fabio on Wednesday, coast to coast. Wednesday night, guys, they're going to go on. They're going to bring the heat. Fabio's going to bring the lasagna. Gio's going to bring the whatever they eat in his country. And they're going to rock and roll.
Guys, ovunque sempre.
Forza Milan!
Milan. Ciao.